What is going on, everybody? It is Dylan here, the new video. Today's video is something I want to make content on and finding a new way to make content and put it on the channel. So I'm going to try to do a week to week, probably closer to the season, just because there's not going to be much going on. But have this video come out and then towards the preseason, or if there's any huge updates, kind of go there and upload a video. But yet again, it's just something more for me to make content on this channel. So we're going to go over it. I finally got into a Dynasty league. Now, I've been wanting to do Dynasty for a couple years now. I just wanted to fully get better at fantasy football, put more time into it, kind of understand a lot of how Dynasty works. So I felt confident enough to pick up a team. Ended up picking one, just saw it online. They're looking for somebody to take over this team. And at first glance, it's kind of rough. And I had some work I had to do. There's still work that I'm going to do to try to improve this team. But I don't totally hate it right now looking at it. I'm definitely going to have to build up the future of this team, that's for sure. But right now, the current state of the team, I really do enjoy and like. But like I said, I'm going to continue to try to make moves, try to focus on this team and get some other Dynasty teams out there. But let's go over it, and I'll go over what I've changed since taking over this team. So Lamar Jackson, I'll put in the guys that I've gotten and go over that after. But as of right now, it's Lamar, Marlon Mack, ETN, Devontae, Cooper, Boyd, Hayden Hurst, Zeke, Sanders on the bench. Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan, David Johnson still, Gus Edwards, DJ Chark, Byron Pringle, KJ Hamler, approach from Baltimore. I'm not too familiar with him, so that's going to be interesting. Westbrook, Howard, Arnold, Morrow, and Deandre Hopkins suspended. So that's fun. If Deandre Hopkins is here, I'd love this team a whole lot more, but I had to put him in the IR just because of the suspension. So at glance, my bench. So I have, it's a one quarterback league, which I prefer over Superflex. I don't think Superflex is bad. It's just a lot more emphasis on quarterback. So I like emphasis on the skill position. Just have your quarterback. If he has a bad game, you should have the rest of your team pick it up, not have another quarterback put up another 40 points. So let's go over what I've changed. So we could see, since I've gotten here, first thing I do, I have the 102, which is usually Walker. That's usually one of the guys that goes number 2. Now, it's not that I don't love Walker. It's just I'd rather have either a guy that I know is going to start and be a guy that's going to be there for a long time and play, and he might be. But with Rashard Penny there in Seattle, it's hard to say. They might just keep Penny. He didn't look bad at all last season. Chris Carson's still there. DJ Dallas is still there. They have a lot of running backs, so it's not guaranteed that he's going to get time. And the way I see Dynasty is you go year to year. You're trying to win year after year, and you make that decision halfway through the season if you want to rebuild, sell players, and go. And I like this team. I think a couple more changes, and I have a good shot, and then working a way to rebuild it. So I have the 102. Obviously, somebody that wants Walker a lot is probably going to trade me something that I like. Now, running back, I had James Conner. Zeke was not on this team. I acquired Zeke. But I needed a running back. Look, Marlon Mack looks like he might get the starting gig in Houston, but we really haven't seen Marlon Mack. He didn't play much last season in Indianapolis, and it's hard to say what he's going to do. I do like ETN now. I've thought about it a lot more. When I first looked at the roster of having someone like ETN as the starting running back, the RB probably the RB3. I'm probably going to put ETN over Marlon Mack, just because James Robinson's not going to be there in the beginning of the season. They drafted ETN. I know it probably wasn't what they wanted, but you get ETN and Trevor Lawrence back. You get a connection, so I do like having ETN there. Now back to the trade. So I put out looking for a trade, and this is the trade I got. I went out and got it. I needed a running back who I know is going to be efficient, and that's Ezekiel Elliott. You can go and look at Zeke's numbers last season, and it's a lot of consistency. Now, there's some games he gets under 10. I get that. I understand that. But from a fantasy standpoint, Zeke has probably been one of the most consistent running backs for a long time. Since 2016, he's finished as RB1 except for one season. That is crazy. That is what you like. That's what I need. He's been hurt. He was hurt all last year. He wasn't 100%. They look at getting him 100%. He's still 26 years old. I know we like the young talent in Dynasty, and I get it, but you have to win now. When are your pieces going to pay off, right? You pay a league fee every year to play. That's what I want to go after. So going after that, I had the 102, and I go, what value can I get? I tried to get the first round, tried for first and second, no third, and no DJ Chark. He really wanted his first round 11th pick. It's understandable, and I need a wide receiver with potential. DJ Chark is that guy. He didn't have a lot of what I would like. Seen DJ Chark 2019 is the DJ Chark that I believe in. He's playing in Detroit. Detroit went out of their way to go get him. He's still 25 years old, very talented, a taller receiver. He's somebody that I want, like somebody that I'm okay with having on the bench this season. And if there's a bright spot to where DJ Chark looks like he's playing very good, I can make that decision if I want to put him in the starting lineup, or if a team wants to go after DJ Chark because he's not entirely old. I'm okay with that. But I wanted to get a receiver in return. You can look at my receiver core: Devontae, Cooper, Boyd, Byron Pringle. KJ Hamler is the only one that I believe right off the bat can have success with Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton. So I didn't have a lot of wide receiver. Westbrook maybe. But I needed a wide receiver, so if one of these guys goes down, a bye week, something comes up, I have someone that I can plug in, and that's DJ Chark. Byron Pringle, I'm waiting to see what the Bears use him as. And Deandre Hopkins, I don't have him until week 7, so I needed to get some type of insurance. So that's what I did, and I end up now with 2 second rounds, 2 third rounds, Ezekiel Elliott and DJ Chark. I didn't want to go into this season with a wide receiver core that I'm not fully confident in. Tyler Boyd is the only one that I am currently still trying to maybe move. I like Tyler Boyd. If you look at his fantasy numbers, they've been pretty consistent since 2018. Wide receiver 2 and wide receiver 3, that's a flex role. That's what you want. But he is getting up there in age. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are still wide receiver 1 and 2. They're the first 2 looks. And then they get Hayden Hurst as a tight end, who I have. So right now I have a tight end and wide receiver on the same team, and I really like Hayden Hurst being on Cincinnati. Saw what he did in Atlanta before Kyle Pitts gets there, and I think that's something of potential that I like with Hayden Hurst. You saw Cincinnati start to use the tight end Uzama more towards the end of this season, just because teams would focus more on Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins still couldn't stop him, but Uzama got included a lot more than he did in the beginning of the season. So Tyler Boyd is the one guy. So as soon as DeAndre Hopkins is back, he's getting emphasis 100% over Boyd. So with that, I'm still trying to figure out. I have 2 second-round picks. There's a lot of potential in the first round of this rookie draft, so I wanted to get back in the first round. I knew I could get in the first round with 2 second-round picks, because it's not like you're losing much. If you're drafting in the maybe back end of the first round, getting 2 second-round picks is beautiful. You get 2 potential players instead of 1. And so the draft was last night. It started. It's still going on. It's a 24-hour pick. So I go, all right. So I was working out trade with the commissioner of the league. He really wanted James Conner. He liked James Conner. He wasn't stacked at running back, and I needed a wide receiver. I did not have a lot, like I said. So I went out, and I wanted to get back in the first round. I wanted a receiver, and I wanted a talented young receiver. So the trade I did is I got Amari Cooper and his first-round pick for James Conner, 2 seconds. The 2 seconds I got in the late third round. So I still have the early third round, looking for somebody that I can possibly add, hopefully some type of running back, because as of right now, I have four running backs that are running back ones on their team. Marlon Mack, ETN, Zeke, Sanders. David Johnson is still a free agent currently, and Gus Edwards is coming off of an injury, so I'm hoping to get some type of insurance there, hopefully in the third round. It's still the second pick, so hopefully something falls to me that I can like, maybe even a younger quarterback. I do have Lamar, who should be my quarterback for a long time. I have Russell Wilson, who has great value, and if something comes up and I could trade Russell Wilson for maybe another quarterback and another piece to this team, I might close on that deal. But as of right now, I have two great quarterbacks, and I have Matt Ryan, who's up there in age. I don't love for fantasy. Giddy's in Indianapolis, and they use Jonathan Taylor, but there's no receivers to help him. So I did that trade, and the draft was going on, and this is what it looks like currently. Hall, Walker, like I said, Walker was probably going to go number 2. I know a lot of people like Kenneth Walker, and I'm okay with that. Drake London went 3. I really wanted to go after Drake London in Atlanta. But Treylon Burks, 22 years old, is probably going to be the wide receiver 2. I think a lot of people forget Robert Woods is there, and he's probably going to be their first option. Like I said, I have Westbrook too, so Westbrook's there on my bench. It's not like Treylon Burks said, small injury, rookie minicap. I get that. He's probably going to be the wide receiver 2 on this team, which is perfect. But it's somebody that is he's young. He's 22. I have a young wide receiver that I can build. Now, if I waited to the second, I don't get a very talented receiver, because Olave, Williams, Watson, Moore, Pickens are probably all going to be gone. Probably even Dotson too, if I had to guess. So we're looking at David Bell and Mechie. David Bell going on Cleveland is probably going to be the wide receiver 3, maybe 4. Probably 4. But people still forget, even though they have Deshaun Watson and now their pass game is going to be very good, they're still a run-first team. They have Nick Chubb. They have Kareem Hunt for a reason. They like to run the ball, pass when they need to. Mechie is going to go to a Houston team where we see Davis Mills being the quarterback 1, who didn't look all that bad. You have to remember, it's a Houston team. There's no pieces there at all. So they're in a full rebuild. That is a full rebuild there in Houston. So Mechie would take some time, if that. Other than that, a lot of these guys fall. So someone like Jalen Tolbert went to Dallas. I think he's a guy that I want to get if possible. You look at this wide receiver room, James Washington they picked up, but it doesn't mean anything about Jalen Tolbert. He's somebody that I could take a chance on. If he falls to me at 302, I'll take it. So that's how that went. Picked up Burks with that 4th pick, traded back up into the first round, and acquire Amari Cooper. So my bench now gets better. I have 3 tight ends, and none of them I am in love with at all. O.J. Howard's in Buffalo with Dawson Knox. Arnold's in Jacksonville with Evan Ingram. And Moreau is the backup to Darren Waller. So unless any of these 3 guys, their starters ahead of them get hurt, they're not huge for fantasy. O.J. Howard, we haven't seen anything fantasy-wise since the Winston days. It looked very promising, but never worked out. Moreau, when he went in, He had that huge game against Philly when Darren Waller was out and everyone thought he was going to be good. And then kind of just all over the place. Darren Waller's health was all over the place as well. But Darren Waller is that tight end one. You get help with Davante Adams there in Vegas, so that helps. And then DeAndre Hopkins, like I said, he is... When I get DeAndre Hopkins, I'm going to be a lot more confident in this team for the season. I have to make it to a positive record before Week 7, though, and that is going to be the challenge of this team. If I can have a winning record and get DeAndre Hopkins back, I have a great receiver core of Davante Adams in Vegas, Cooper in Cleveland, Tyler Boyd still in Cincinnati, and can't forget that, Burks in Tennessee, and then Hopkins in Arizona. That's a great wide receiver core. Cooper's young. A lot of people forget how young Cooper is. He's 27. Davante Adams, 29. DeAndre Hopkins is the oldest one, I believe. No, 29. So it's not like they're going anywhere anytime soon. I should have them for a few years and work on building a younger potential core. So right now, pieces that I'm probably going to end up moving or looking to move or replace. Obviously, the 3 tight ends. So 1 tight end, maybe 2. I have 4. I don't have full necessary use for these tight ends who aren't going to be the clear-cut number 1 tight end. Dan Arnold got used in Jacksonville quite efficiently here for a few weeks. Got hurt, and then didn't. It is what it is. So I will update if anything happens with this team. Probably won't come out until preseason. Looking to pick up some free agents once that's available. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about the team. Let me know if there's any moves you liked that I did or didn't like, and any suggestions. Just looking forward to producing content with this team. I am currently trying to get into a startup Dynasty as well, so I can have control of that team first draft and go from there. Not have a team that's set for me and just trying to improve it, but have a team that I can build and go from there. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I will see you in the next one.